Hi, and welcome to this interview with my friend and selling on the spot marketplace creator, Jane Warr. Hi, Jane. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. Thank you so much for having me here today, Ron.
Yeah, I'm glad to interview you. A little while ago, the tables were turned, and I was able to be interviewed by you. But now I've put you on the hot seat, and I'm going to interview you today. And we met. We met a couple of years back now, I believe, at one of your franchisees' events. Heather's event down at Dish Events. Heather had a selling on the spot marketplace, and I think I was at her inaugural meeting, if I don't.
Yes, when she launched the in-person event of Selling on the Spot Marketplace.
Yeah, and so that was my introduction to selling on the spot marketplace, which, and I'll let you explain it, but it's kind of eliminating the idea that selling is a bad word, and that we can sell authentically and with confidence. Can you tell us a little bit about how that idea came about?
Sure, yes, thank you for asking. So I did create Selling on the Spot Marketplace originally as a one-time event. It was never meant to turn into the company with all the divisions that it has now. So it was something that I put together because I saw a need in the marketplace, that being for a place for entrepreneurs and business owners to come together to embrace the sales process, like you said, by embracing the word sales. We are in sales, we are salespeople. Let's sell to each other, not just network, but of course, do it ethically, do it through relationship building, just not skipping the step of actually doing the business. So it was a combination of that with similar to a trade show where I found that too many trade shows had this kind of different flow of people. I mean, first of all, it was the public that was coming to see people at their tables. The business owner, first of all, was behind their table. And to me, that was a closed off feeling between them.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, oftentimes there's too many people that aren't even really paying attention to people coming up to their table. They're on their cell phones, they're sitting on chairs. They don't even look like they're open for business or really inviting people to do business. And even when I attended a bunch of trade shows, I would walk up to somebody's table and think not necessarily was it set up as well as I thought they could be for the sake of closing some type of sale, whether it's for a product or service. And they oftentimes didn't really know how to engage with the person and kind of almost escorted me from one corner of the table all the way to the next and to leave. And I thought, I want to help them sell.
Yeah. Let me stop you there because I'm going to share a little bit of my experience that I probably never even shared with you. So, as a photographer and somebody who specializes in branding, I'm always looking to expand my network and meet business owners and entrepreneurs. So, right away, that attracted me. So, I do look for networking events that align with what I'm selling, and that is professional brand portraiture. But what I loved about your approach was you don't just stick us in a room and say, go, you actually provide an opening or an opening training to help us present ourselves well to the others in attendance. And I recognized immediately the value of becoming what you call a sponsor of the event and not simply an attendee, right? Mm-hmm. And so by sponsoring, I was able to have a table and show what I do. As a photographer, showing what I do is really important. It's hard for me to tell what I do without also being able to maybe hold up my phone or share a screen or have a monitor. So that was what really attracted me to selling on the spot marketplace, was this different slant that you actually help us learn to sell ethically. And so that's really the opening of those things. Go ahead.
Yes, and yes, thank you. Because as trainer Jane, it is my passion to train entrepreneurs and business owners. I want everyone to be better. Sorry, my camera's moving. Cat decided to show up. We improvise at all times. That's right. Thought I might as well acknowledge its existence at this point. So it was a matter of, I want everyone to improve. I could see and I could hear the gaps, meaning that where somebody was losing business, where they might have been friendly and they might have been inviting, but they maybe lacked confidence in what they were saying. They lacked their own conviction in their offer, and they weren't asking for the sale. So that's what we put together. That's what is a big part of selling on the spot marketplace, whether it's the in-person events that we had in the past and look forward to going back to, or the virtual events that we have now. We start with a PowerPoint. We start with some sales training to empower everybody to do better in the marketplace, whether it's at selling on the spot marketplace or because on another day they could be at another event, at another platform, and we're happy to be training them to be better there as well.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, as someone who's experienced that platform, I have to say, I've since attended very many other selling on the spots, both yours and some of your franchisees. You mentioned that you're known as Trainer Jane, and there's no question in my mind when I'm with you, when we're together, when you're doing a selling on the spot marketplace or a mastermind, that you have a gift for training and helping. It's what you do. I have a saying, and actually just up behind me, you can't read it because it's out of focus, but it says, "Do what you can't help but do." And I believe that's what you're doing. You're doing what you can't help but do, and it shows
Absolutely.
in the work that you do.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I take that as a compliment because yes, as I always jokingly say, occupational hazard. I can't not train or coach or help or serve in some capacity. I don't just listen and then, not offer more help.
Yeah, as a mentor myself, I know the value of reaching in and helping level up somebody else's skill or confidence. And so I just like to thank you for doing what you do in that department. And that has led to another endeavor. You're doing selling on the spot media training, pardon me, which I've just taken part in. So, and we're not even finished yet. We're coming up to our last class in a couple of days. And selling on the spot media training does a bit of a deep dive. Can you share with us how that's different than, say, selling on the spot marketplace? Like one is where I'm going to go and present myself as a product or my products
Sure.
or brand, but this is different.
Sure. And in a moment, I'm going to pass it to you as well to share a little bit about it without telling viewers too much, meaning that we have the marketplace. So that is how the company started. It did definitely start as selling on the spot marketplace, the platform where entrepreneurs and business owners can sell ethically, efficiently, and effectively to each other. And I'm actually going to add an extra layer in there before speaking to the media training, because we also have the master class. So the on the spot master class is basically a step up from the marketplace in regards to training, meaning that that's where we break down people's presentations a little bit into the separate pieces, the introductions, the audio business card, to again empower and train business owners to be clear and concise as to who they are, who they help, how they help them, before explaining what product or service they're offering in the marketplace, and so on. So it's more of the getting my feedback, getting peer feedback, looking at the visual, how we show up on camera, what's in our background, making sure that everything is planned and strategic. And from that, after creating the master class, I started my getting to know Forbes Riley. The relationship between her and I was growing, and together we decided to create Selling on the Spot media training. So for those that don't know who Forbes Riley is, the Forbes Riley, as I like to call her, the amazing Forbes Riley is also known as the Queen of Pitch. So to me, the power of collaboration is finding somebody that complements you, but has different skills. Mm-hmm. So despite the fact that I also train mindset training, her way of doing that is very different than mine. Mine is in regards to emotional intelligence. How do we speak to ourselves? How do we speak to others in a very, again, without giving away that training, in a very specific way, where she is incredibly intuitive and takes it to a different direction. And I'm deliberately not going to give too much away as to what we do in that course. But that day one, deliberately, in the Selling on the Spot media training, starts with Forbes Riley taking our participants through a mindset breakthrough. Yeah. And nobody is not improved, changed, transformed, whatever word you are comfortable with at that point, and everybody's better. Everybody is more open. Everybody's more relaxed. They've released something, because what we both believe, she and I both believe, is that we need to deal with whatever is going on the personal level that is holding us back from excelling on a business level. And so deliberately, we put her breakthrough program as day one of the Selling on the Spot media training, because the program Selling on the Spot media training is unique under my brand, bringing in a lot of her skill set and a lot of her expertise in a unique, exclusive package. So this is where, Ron, I'd love to have you say just something really brief about day one without giving too much away. How would you describe the very first day?
So I would describe it without giving too much away. It is transformational. I witnessed transformations in people that were surprising and have continued to be surprising and have continued to surprise me. I guess the evidence or fruit of what a person does doesn't just happen on the day they've done it, but carries on into the future. And I've watched the participants online and through our group continue to grow and have a level of confidence that is literally transformational. And so for anybody that knows or doesn't know that they're actually holding limiting beliefs about moving forward, and that may be why you're not seeing the success you're hoping for, exactly. You really need to take that training. I don't mean to make this a big sales pitch for Forbes and for you, but yeah, Forbes Riley is the queen of pitch. And let me just share the day I met her was in Selling on the Spot
masterclass.
Marketplace, pardon me. We were in a marketplace. Okay. It was a mastermind. Okay. I think it was a marketplace she jumped into. And that's why I went to the masterclass.
Okay, perfect.
And she came into the room near the end, and she literally carries with her a magnetic and outgoing personality that you just recognize right away that she has it together. And she presents in a way that's irresistible. And all I knew was that I wanted to learn what she had. And so that's my journey with Selling on the Spot media training, was that led to the mastermind, which led to the media training. Yep. So I wholeheartedly endorse it. Yeah.
Perfect. And meanwhile, you haven't even completed the course yet, like you said.
No, and I still have more work to do. I'm a little bit, I have to admit, I'm the bad student. I'm a little bit behind, but today I've been digging in, and I'll be doing more toward that.
Well, we didn't need to tell anybody that you're a bad student. All good.
No, I probably shouldn't say bad student. Sometimes life happens in spite of your best intentions, and I'm catching up. That's
right. That's right. We're not at the deadline yet. You're good.
Yeah. You mentioned something really quickly that I just wanted to pull us back to before we finish up, and that's the audio business card. What a unique thing to say. What's an audio business card? What is that?
Sure. So it's the verbal way of presenting who you are, who you help, what problem you help them with, and how. Again, my passion was always with helping the entrepreneurs that come to our events through communications to use simple words that everybody is going to understand. So even 6 years ago, when I labeled myself a communications trainer, I realized communications didn't truly explain what I did. Trainer mostly was clear to people, but a trainer is different than a coach. So it's funny how many times people would say, so Trainer Jane, you're a coach. And I'm like, no, I'm a trainer. I'm generally at the front of the room training an entire group versus one-on-one coaching. That's kind of my simple way of differentiating. But it shows that any word can be misinterpreted. So to break something down, to be able to ensure that you are communicating the message that you mean to be communicating, that most people would be able to understand. So your audio business card starts with, again, who is the people group that you serve. So for me, I say that I train entrepreneurs and business owners. And again, yes, you could misunderstand entrepreneurs, but most people will understand that as a solopreneur or, different than a business owner. But I purposely say the two types because most people will consider themselves one or the other. And then I might say that I help them in regards to cash flow issues or increasing their revenue. It really depends on, of course, the group that I'm speaking to. Because when I'm speaking to you, Ron, versus a large group or a small group, or if I know it's a group of, again, entrepreneurs versus, you know, regular business owners that are employed, I'm going to always tweak my presentation a little bit. So at what might be the main pain point or the most common one that the group would have that I'm speaking to, and then how do I also serve? So often I am talking about selling on the spot marketplace, in which case I choose to call them fun and productive virtual events called selling on the marketplace. So it's putting it into one sentence that, again, is clear and concise, that is not speaking above anybody's level, and then is interesting enough, informing them enough, and ideally inspiring them to want to know more. So I end with the company name, because most people then ask me, like, okay, what is that? Or tell me more about that. That's what you want. You want a real conversation that naturally is moving forward because they genuinely want to know more.
Yeah, and I'll bring it back to myself here, because I really love to relate to things in my experience. And my experience with that was, you actually really helped me narrow down being kind of overly verbal about what I do, trying to explain or trying to create this big picture, when all people want is clarity. They just want to understand what I do and how I can help them. You know, fundamentally, that's it. And I teach students simplicity is power when creating imagery, but simplicity is power in our words as well. And so if you don't mind, I'm actually going to riff off my audio business card.
Please.
I hope I don't stumble too much, but just to show a little bit about how this has worked in my life.
Okay.
And so I would say that, you know, hi, I'm Ron Clifford, and I'm a professional photographer. I help you show up and stand out as the authority in your field. Or part of me, I help experts and entrepreneurs show up as the authority in their field through professional personal brand photography. I want to help you build a library of images that helps reveal your character and connect you to your ideal audience.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
And so you've been working on it with us, and see that, yes, you're going to introduce yourself with your name first, but it was a nice natural flow into who you're helping. And again, the pain point or why they would be coming to you, as well as, and I don't remember the exact wording you used about your brand photography, but it's showing that why they would want to come to you, how you are different than your competition, than another photographer, because you're looking for that perfect partnership. You're looking for somebody that wants to work with you. And then in our case, in the marketplace, that wants to buy from you today, move forward with you today, even if it's the sale, but booking into the Zoom meeting to get to know each other better, for example.
Yeah, and using keywords like building visual authority and trust, or personal brand photography, or a library of personal brand images helps give them a mental image.
Absolutely.
And what I found interesting is I'm not trying to have my whole conversation in one long sentence. I'm trying to encourage a further conversation later if it resonates with somebody.
Exactly.
And so that's how
the
it
conversation.
goes.
Yes, when it's meant to be a dialogue, not a monologue.
Yeah.
Right?
So when a person lights up and they say, "Oh, you know what? I think I need that. I want to talk to you more about that." That's when we're invited to the bigger conversation.
Exactly.
So I think it's a fantastic approach, and
so,
it's helped me
authentic.
greatly.
Yeah. Just an authentic conversation moving forward, if and how it's meant to.
Yeah. I think we've really isolated kind of who you are and what you do to help people through these unique offerings, especially selling on the spot marketplace, selling on the spot mastermind, which helps us with our pitch, and then selling on the spot masterclass, which takes it a whole new level. And I'd really like to thank you, Jane, since we've met, that you've been there encouraging and guiding me in that direction as well. And it actually won't be long before you and I, in spite of COVID, will finally get together and have our session where I get to help you show up and stand out, even though you already do a great job of it.
I'm looking forward to working with you. I'm looking forward to seeing the branding images, absolutely, that you will be doing for me, because yes, I know how I've shown up so far in photos and social media on video, but absolutely, I'm so excited to be working with you. And then maybe we'll shoot another video, we'll shoot another interview, and we'll show the work that you did for me.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
Awesome.
In kind of bringing things around to the end, where can people find you? What are your most important places to find you?
Sure, thanks for asking. Yes, sellingonthespotmarketplace.com is our website. You can find us basically anywhere and everywhere under the name of Selling on the Spot Marketplace or Selling on the Spot. Social media for sure, Facebook, YouTube, please look for us, absolutely.
Yeah.
My name is Jane Warr, but I do go by name as Trainer Jane. So you can find me as Trainer Jane everywhere as well.
Yeah, and you're obviously your brand aesthetic is unmistakable. It's quite easy to find once you type in Selling on the Spot Market. Thanks, Jane, for joining me, and I really enjoyed this and look forward to doing more work with you.
Awesome, thank you so much.
You're welcome. As for me, you can find me at ronclifford.com or Ron Clifford in a Google search. I'll talk to you guys all later.
Thank you.